to do videos in the vertical versus horizontal. If you saw the one I attempted to put up, I heard other people have been having this problem, so I guess it's our turn. Bear with me while I get everything organized. Boy, this is slightly annoying now, isn't it? Guess that'll work. Oh my goodness, YouTube. Hello, if anyone's there. Those of you on the replay, my apologies. We will get there. Maybe. Maybe not. Try that. Oh my goodness. We have a live stream. Is there anybody out there? Hey, Rose made it. All right. So here we go. We have problems. We have problems. Why shouldn't we have problems? Because that's what we do. We'll get through it. My apologies. For whatever reason, YouTube is not letting me do the video horizontal. It's only letting me do it live. Vertical, it didn't want me to go to everyone. It wanted me to be a private video. You know, it's when you're having one of those really good days and then something's got to just put a little kink in it. But we're fine. It's not going to be fun when you guys watch it on the replay. Unfortunately, you're going to have the black on the side of the screen. Hi, Ellen. That's just the way it's. My apologies. It's going to have to be. We are testing out all kinds of things today, and I wonder if me pushing a bunch of buttons have changed it. I know in the past week other YouTubers have had a similar problem, so I don't think it's really just me causing issues. I was working. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Joyce. Jackie, I saw that you are waiting for the air conditioner guy. I'm so sorry if your air conditioner is not quite working. Hopefully, they're just coming and doing a little work on it. Hi, Joyce. Excuse me. I have pressed the little buttons. Those in the YouTube know said that I should have my little heart reactions at the bottom of the comments, that it changes everything in the YouTube experience and that it will draw in more viewers. People who press the little heart will be happier. I'm not sure about that. So we're testing that today. You guys can let me know later on when the video is no longer live how much those hearts annoy you. Yeah, Rose, I don't think it's me because I went and I did 2 live streams. This is actually the third one. One just went live with me staring at my phone trying to figure it out. I got rid of that one, of course. I turned my phone off, turned my phone back on. No matter what buttons I did, it's like, hey, you can't do that. I did turn on the monetization because I wanted to see if it changes anything about how many people are brought into the live stream now and later by letting it monetize. But I did do it in a subtle way, in the fact that 30 minutes from when you started watching the live stream, an ad will come up. Now, we're not doing anything too crazy today, so I don't think you're going to miss out anything while you're clicking through the lab ad, hopefully. Just let me know later on and we'll see. And I can always go back and change it and not have live streams monetized right away. We're starting to get a little bit more views, so it is nice to bring a couple more pennies in. So I did, and I changed the microphone. I took the fuzzy thing off the microphone and I put a little black thing on it, a ball, a squishy foam ball versus the fuzzy in case you're out in the wind, but I'm not in the wind, so hopefully that will change that weird thing on the last Whip It Wednesday. It's an adventure week. That's all. We're just having an adventure. Oh no, Jackie, that's brutal. Oh, Ellen, see, it's something in the air. They had that thing with the internet recently. I Okay, you guys are gonna get a side view of my head. This is how it's gonna be. Take me for what I am, right? Having one of those days now. I was fine until like 20 minutes ago, and then it's just like things just go around and then and it's fine because when you're doing a roller coaster and it goes down and it's not for anything like a major thing, it's just you stubbed your toe, you cut a piece of fabric wrong, there's always an up. So we're going live, we're going to hang out, and we're doing the up streak, up trend, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I wonder what is going on. That's what I'm thinking, Jackie. It has something to do with it because there's a little slide toggle thing. It says horizontal or vertical. And they're like, hey, we suggest you do it this way. But they suggest that because if you're going to take your YouTube video and move it over to Instagram and TikTok and anything else like that, it's going to be a different orientation. So you don't have to flip flop it around. But I'm YouTubing it. So I want a nice one like that. Hi, Teresa. So, the things that we want information on today, one, I apologize for that. Two, let me know if the hearts are really just too aggravating at the bottom of the chat. Whether it does amazing things or not, we can go ahead and turn them off for a few months and try again later. Is the microphone working good? I hopefully have it so it won't like scratch on my shirt or anything. I'm pointing because it's like right here on the left side. And oh, the monetization. Let me know. The thing with the monetization is I do not, you guys know, I do not like it when a live stream is chatting and you're learning something and all of a sudden you get an ad and it's just random, or if someone on the other end pushes the button and gives you the ad. Because I can do something and press a button right now and an ad will pop up. But if it's just the 16 of us watching, it's not bad. The ad revenue is not going to be anything crazy. I need to get my little bracelet to stop my thing from making all the noise. But as people come in later on, and when we finish with the live stream, there's been 3, 4, 500 views, and there's no ad revenue. I am missing out on some of those pennies. So I wanted to see if we just do an ad every 30 minutes for now. And then after we're done going live, I change it just to go. The microphone sounds good. Thanks, Rose. Then I just change it to do whatever YouTube wants to do because they're the power to be. That's what we're doing. Now, what we are working on today is going to be the map, but while waiting, I started working on some salvage fabric postcards. Excuse me, while going through the postcards, I realized I don't have any salvage postcards left. I've mailed them all out. Oh, it seems like an allergy day. I was just thinking yesterday, it's what I get for thinking. I was thinking, hey, allergies are pretty good right now, but now it's an allergy day. I have my new Embrace the Wonky RsIslandCrafts mug. Takes a little bit for me to get used to something different because I'm used to just not thinking. And I have poked myself with the straw a couple times because I don't use a straw normally. I tried it without the straw, and that was a disaster too. So I'm very thirsty. I'm very whistly in the sinuses. So I worked on those. But today, we're going to work on the map. Put these out of the way. I want to make about 20 of those, so I just grabbed a handful of salvages. Let me pull out, I have my little bin. I'm so excited for these bins. They really do make a difference. So I put everything, well, most everything I need into the little bin here. I went through and I started off by, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me, if ad helps you, I don't mind. Thanks, Ellen. But I thought if we did it every 30 minutes, it wouldn't be like Ellen gets one every 7 minutes. Jackie never sees one. And then Rose sees one every 20 or 30 minutes. This way, hi, Bobby Lee. Are you new here? I don't know if I recognize your name. Welcome, welcome. But this way, it's every 30 minutes from when you come in. I can do it every 30 minutes. We all get a break at the same time. And I think as we work on big projects like we're sewing a quilt or something, we'll do that every 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to get an ad break. You guys stretch, get a drink. We'll all come back together. But right now, it's just every 30 minutes for each person individually. I don't know how far you can see, because I can't see. I took a Friction pen and I labeled all the states so we don't have to sit here, or I don't have to sit here and go, oh yeah, Nebraska or South Dakota, Kansas, which one's which. I did go to school. I did learn all the states and the capitals, but sometimes the little ones can get really confusing. Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, I mix them up all the time. And I don't know what I was thinking, but Wisconsin always talked about, people I watched a YouTube video, they always talked about being so far away and out in the wilderness and stuff. So I thought Wisconsin was over here by Montana, just by the way they were talking. They've got very short winters, but I guess it's from being this close to Canada. So I did recently think Wisconsin was over there, so I got confused. Now this is the map from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. My affiliate link is down below in the description box. I'm not sure, with everything going a little wonky, my links showed up, my links disappeared. So instead of giving you a direct link to the map, I just gave you my affiliate link. If you spend more than $50, you will receive a 20% discount, and off of anything you purchase over $50. Some things that are on sale, you can still get the discount. And no, I think what it is no matter how much you spend, because I could see not what you guys buy. I mean, I know what my affiliate percentage is, so I know kind of how much you spent. I don't want to know. It's none of my business, but I can see, and some of you have purchased things under the $50, so I still receive an affiliate percentage off of that. So if you spend $5 or $500, hey, if you spend $500, send me an email because I'd love to see what you got. But I did take this map and I put it underneath my light table and I made another copy because I thought this map was a really nice size. And there's a Zentangle one that's not in stock right now, but you can click it in and they'll put your email in and let you know when it's in stock. And it has all kinds of lines drawn on it to do embroidery. So I want to do embroidery, but I also want to do fabrics. So I own the map. So I went ahead and traced the map, because you can get a map online, a coloring book map of the United States or anywhere in the world and stuff. So I went ahead and made an extra copy so I can make one with embroidery like I'd like to if that one never comes back into listing. And then I was thinking about my international peep. We have all this empty space. So I was thinking, when this video is no longer live, if you can let me know however you know your country as. Like in the United States, I can say I'm in Arizona. By the way, I'm all the way over here, guys. This is me in Arizona. But if you guys are in a certain part of Canada, I might just draw a bit of Canada and just say, hey, this is how many people are in Canada, or this is how many people are in Australia. I might not be able to go and pinpoint directly like is it provinces up in Canada? So you guys have, some places have states, some have province. I want to say Providence, but that's like with books or something. So you guys know where you live. Just make it easy for me so I can figure out where to draw it on here. Now, when I do some of these, I'm not going to include the islands except for Hawaii, of course, because they didn't put the Keys in Florida, but they put tiny little islands up here in Massachusetts and California. So I'm not sure how they decided that. I printed out a list of the 50 US states with the abbreviations so that I could put the proper abbreviations. When I was growing up in the 80s, I think, I don't remember when they changed it, but it was 3-letter abbreviations. So Connecticut, where I lived, or 3 or 4, because we were CONN, and now Connecticut is C2. Florida was FLA, and now it's FL. So I have all those, and I marked on the right-hand side a tick for each state that we're going to do today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8. And every time someone said in that Whip It Wednesday video where they were from, Canada has provinces. Thank you. Sometimes you just get your tongue stuck on something and your brain won't let it go. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do yet about, hey, 17 people are in Arizona, 10 are in Florida. We have 4 in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if I'm going to put little beads, little French knots or something like that. But I think it would be fun to see how many people are in each state. But today we're just going to put a piece of fabric down. So I know where everyone is. I know where it is on the map. I have my light heat and bond. So this one you can sew through. I'm thinking when I'm done, I'll do some type of stitching just to hold it all down so that this can either go on a piece of like those painting canvases, like you can get them at Michael's and stuff, just stretch it across it and hang it that way, or to put it into like a quilt type thing. But I'm thinking it'd be really fun to put on a painting canvas so it's nice and firm up against the wall. But at the same time, I need to be able to add more states to it. So I don't have to make decisions yet. But if you don't want to sew, you can use the red heat and bond, which is you iron it on and you don't sew it. And I'm not going to really need to wash this, hopefully, knock on wood, So I'm not going to worry too much if I were to use the red version. But I want to be able to stitch through it with a regular sewing needle if I want to add beads or embroidery stitches or something. When you're looking at Missouri Star, if you just go to the search engine at the top of Missouri Star and put a US map or even just map, there's a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but I think there's like 12 different map fabrics you can purchase too. Now it came with this, and this is this white piece of fabric. It's like an interfacing or something. It's fusible. I'm not really sure what that's for. It doesn't have any directions for it. You really don't have much directions. There's a video. Once this video is done being live, I'll go back through and I'll fix everything. The link, you might have to scroll down a little in the description box if it's even there. If not, I'll put everything there, but it's in other videos and I'll fix this. As soon as we're done going live, I'll fix, the description box and put all the links in. I think that's all that I have in my little bucket here. But what I did bring in is my light board. I bought this light box several years ago for embroidery. It's very inexpensive on Amazon. It's called a Tic-Tec, like Tikteck, but there's a bunch of them on there. They're all about the same, and they're all usually around the $20 version unless you get one of the really fancy pro illustrator nice ones. I didn't need that. I just wanted to be able to see my embroidery patterns through the fabric to trace them. They have a carrying case for this. I just haven't bought it yet because I haven't used it enough to really worry about it, but they have one. Most of them do have a carrying cases. Now there's fancy light boxes that are big and on stands and all of that, but I'm not going anywhere. This one has to be plugged in. It doesn't, I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it has to be plugged in. It doesn't have the charging USB, whatever, like if you can take it outside at the beach or whatnot. But I only use it inside, so I'm not too concerned about that. I'd rather save the money and not have to, excuse me guys, I'm going to put you behind here, not have to spend the money on something that is portable. I only need it for here. I also have my little iron plugged in. 50-50 chance I got it in right. I have a little pressing mat and my iron. I figured we'd just go to the black bookcase behind me and we would find scraps and use that. And then it has, sorry if it's bright for your eyeballs, but it has very levels of brightness. So what we're going to do is drop everything on the floor because that's a requirement in this studio. There's that. Hey, Sue, you finally made it. Woohoo! Excuse me. So when I put this down, I can see the lights coming through and I can see the lines really well. So when I bring my heat and bond out, I have a little odd piece here. So let me cut that off to make life easier. If anyone's not familiar with this heat and bond light sewable, you put this on the back of the fabric. It has adhesive here and on the other side when you peel the paper off, and allows you to put fabric right down onto, or whatever you want, right down onto it. But this is mainly for fabric. Great for lightweight fabrics, machine appliques, and quilting. Is your light box? No, Jackie, it is not. That's one of the things to research this week is how to create. I have my wish list that if someone would have wanted to send me a gift on there, but I don't know how to put this is my favorite items store on Amazon. That's on my list to figure out this week. Excuse me. It's in my little book somewhere. I was just trying to think of where I put my book. It's over there. So I will I will add this in as I go through. Once I figure it out, I'll add in all of the different things that I like the rulers, the heat and bond, and things like that. So I'm just going to start at the top here. Oh, look, Arizona alphabetically. So that is me and Jackie and a few others. Now, when I trace around this outline, I'm going to trace it on the paper. I'm not going to press very hard on this little window box here, but I can put a decent amount of pressure. Hi, Julie. And I want to leave at least 1/8 of an inch around it so that I'm going to trace the design. I'm going to cut out 1/8 of an inch around that design. 1/4 of an inch is what I usually do. Put it on the back of the fabric, and then I'm going to cut right on the line. I usually keep a little ruler. I mean, if we're doing Missouri Star today, we should go all the way, right? Now, for the straight lines, I usually use a ruler just so it's going to fit in here nicely. I'll leave a little border around. Now, you can clip things onto here that you can purchase clips for it that I saw. I've taped it on before. I've taped it to the table. But the canvas, I mean, while it does slide around, it doesn't seem to go anywhere. And the heat and bond here has all the glue dots on the back, so it stays nicely. So we are having a day here in the RsIslandCrafts studio. I was just trying to think if I have, yep. There are several people that live in Arizona, Iowa, Florida. I think we have some in California. It'll be Nevada, I think. It'll be really fun. Texas, to see if we can get, if there's someone who lives in every state and put a piece of fabric on everything here. Oh yeah, when they had to sing that song, or I remember just trying to myself remembering all the capitals and then everyone else. I almost printed out the one with the capitals, but then I said, no, I don't. I don't want to go there. So I'll just draw a line there. And I know geographically why the lines are the state divided the way they do, but really, Idaho. Let's make up some new states now. Idaho has got all this because there's probably a river there. Same thing with like Texas and Oklahoma. Missouri has rivers and stuff that go from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to the Great Lakes. But I'm like, can we just have all of our states just be a nice shape? When they first started settling here, they have a whole bunch of little states, and as everyone started going out west, they got larger. I'm like, I like the larger states. They're much easier. Just draw the straight line on whichever area I can. I'm using a Papermate Ink Joy because I like this color. It's kind of maybe fuchsia. It's a pinky purple. And it doesn't really matter, but when you put pencil or ink or whatever on the heat and bond, if you get your hand moving on it, you will definitely smudge. So just be aware of that so you don't get it on anywhere else. I've used Friction pens, mechanical pencils, Sharpies. It doesn't really matter. And because I'm going to go ahead and draw all these out, I'm going to put my Arizona abbreviation right on there. So now I know when I do this. We had wooden puzzles for the kids like this. We had a lot of things for them. You always want to have something for them to try to learn the states. Hi, Lori. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you can make it. It's fun seeing new people showing up on the channel or for the live streams. Now, Arkansas, I think there's a song for Arkansas too, just all by itself. And then Arkansas's abbreviation, if anyone's curious, is AR. And then we just have to kind of remember where Arkansas is. Texas has a lot of states around it. And when you're in different cities in this area, like there's Texlahoma or something like that, there's a military base here. And there's some weird names of the cities where they combine the two different states in that area. So I'll just move over and give myself a little bit of room. I don't want to waste the material, but I want to make sure I have enough space to cut in between and still put it on different colors of fabric. Because I want to be able to have different colors. You know me, I like all the rainbow colors and the bright colors everywhere. I'm actually using my ruler upside down because I put these sticky dots on it so that if I were to put it this way, the ruler really doesn't move. So when I want it to slide around, I just turn my ruler because I'm not using it to measure anything. I'm just using it as a straight line because I don't know where my little straight line black ruler is. Now, when this is all done, I could put something over the borders here if I wanted to, but I think just doing like a zigzag stitch or something. So if the fabrics don't completely butt up properly, maybe they'll overlap a little bit. That's something to think about too. This is nothing like really earth shattering, like they say. It's not rocket science. When you're doing it for a quilt, you can kind of fudge it. I would choose like a background for a quilt and then download something offline or trace it off or something like this. And then I would lay it out, and you can either leave a smidge, like a 16th of an inch wider than what you need so that you're always overlapping just a little bit. Or if you have a blue piece of fabric and if you put your states on and if a little bit sticks out, then it's not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit sticking out. Giovanna made it. Welcome, Giovanna. We are experiencing things today. What was I doing? Why did I choose? You know what? Nobody lives in Arkansas. I misread it, but we're going to have an Arkansas. Anyways, I just won't put it down. What is the abbreviation? Arkansas has 0. So we won't use that. Let's go to California. Sometimes you just have to roll inches and figure it out. I'm going to put it wackadoodle like this, and then I can fit smaller states around it. It's all about adjusting for whatever happened. Now, sometimes I will just sit here and cry because I cut into that last piece of the perfect fabric you can never buy anymore, or you totally mess something up and it's going to ruin your day. And then you cry a little and you swear a little and you move on. Otherwise, things like this, eventually maybe we'll find someone. Anyone here from Arkansas? Do we have any Arkansas in the chat? So if you guys didn't leave a comment on Wednesday's video on where you leave, you can go ahead and leave it right here for the people that are in the live chat. And for people on the replay, just leave it in the regular comments and I will add it to it. Even if you live in like California, I can add another little tick mark for California so we know how many people live in each state. And if you really, really don't want anyone to know where you live, you can just make up a state and give me whatever. I will never know. You will not hurt my feelings. I know some people are just very, very private, and that's fine too. So don't tell me the wrong state. Like I said, I'll never know. I believe everyone. You're from Indiana. Do I have I don't have an Indiana. We do now. Woohoo! That gives me Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. So we need we need an Ohio, and then we'll have. I always hear people talking about these three states: Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. People travel from Iowa into these three states and from Pennsylvania. When my daughter was up there working, she's currently in Ohio somewhere, and they all just travel back and forth across these states like it's nothing. We have Lori in Florida. Where's my Florida peeps? I know we have a lot of Floridas. And hi, Charla. Charla's in Texas. That's number 2 for Texas. So let's see what can we. Oh, sorry, Texas is too big. We cannot put Texas on the map yet. We'll have to wait for Texas. Let's see if we can fit Florida in. Kathy's in Iowa. Kathy, I want to say there's like 10 people in Iowa at least. Based on either the community blocks. It's been fun seeing the community blocks. If she drove, I don't know. I don't know where she is. She's at a Mission Barbecue. It's a brand new Mission Barbecue. It's only been open for 3 months, wherever that might be. I mean, I can look it up, but it's on my phone and I can check where she's at. Kathy's not telling me it's okay. She's telling me she's in Oklahoma, and that gives us our first Oklahoma. Kathy, you are in Oklahoma and not just telling me okay, right? Bobby Lee's in Kentucky. Kentucky. H.I. Joe, first Kentucky person. You're on, yeah, unfortunately, Giovanna, YouTube wouldn't let me put it sideways. We can only do ups and downs. You're looking from Kentucky. All right. That's another Kentucky. I mean, I could go through and just, because I know where some of you live, but I don't want to. No, you're in Iowa. Okay. You're just saying okay. Did I already mark you as an Iowa person? Kathy, did you already tell me you were in Iowa? Oh, I'm in Top Chat. Hold on, guys. I might be missing something important here. So I have to click on Top Chat. There's a little arrow and click down the live chat. And it tells me what live chat means. All right, here we go. Hey, you guys know, I'll just click anything. You tell me you're from somewhere, you just put up something. See, I bet you those in Oklahoma, they might run into that problem every now and then because they pop in okay, meaning Oklahoma. There's a song for that. I won't sing it. I'll save you from that. We'll put Florida. When I was tracing everything out and I was seeing all these little islands, and I'm like, I'm not going to put the islands. The only one who's going to care about the islands are the people who live there. And then I got down to Florida. I'm like, hey, they don't have Key West. There's a whole bunch of little islands missing. I don't know how popular these islands are, but I know most people have heard of Key West and they know where that is. I'm going to keep working on this as time goes by. I'll probably just stick a couple pins in it and hang it in the wall. Okay, good. We shall put you. Da-dun-da-dun. Giovanna, I know you're in Italy. I can't put you on yet until I get a good picture of the boot so I can put it. And then I know, like a lot of people, I know we're just crazy Americans that don't know geography, but like the UK, I don't know if the UK is only like a country or if the UK like Eurasia, and then you have like North and South Korea. No one considers that all Korea, and then you have different things. So Europe is this. Can we just, is it Europe and then we have all the countries, or do you guys have a special name for yourselves? I just don't know those things. All right, so we have Arizona and we have Florida. And we have Arkansas because we have nobody, but I did it anyways. And we have California. So now we're going to go find Illinois. And I'm just going to squeeze Illinois in over here. Illinois, you can hang out with me over here by Florida because it doesn't matter where I live. I spent most of my life in Florida. I'm a Florida gal. So when I talk about like back home and stuff, I haven't put enough roots here in Arizona yet. We've only been here since just the end of February, so I think that's a good excuse. Heather's from Ontario, Canada. It's bits and pieces. Yeah, see, I don't know. I know what's on the map and I can see a map and understand what the map has. But when you live there, I think you might talk about things differently. Like the US is the US, but we also call, we talk about out west and down south, and you have the Mason Dixon border and south of the border and stuff like that. So everyone has kind of it is four countries together. Okay, then I wasn't totally lost. Minnesota. I don't have anyone from Minnesota. You are now on the map. Congratulations, Julie. You own Minnesota. See, I thought the UK might have been four countries together. And has it always been that way? Or is it something like when I was younger and learning about world geography? I feel like the countries were separate. But nowadays, I think it's just called the UK. So I don't know where that came into being and when, because I don't take any more classes. You're welcome. Yeah, Julie's rich. She's got the whole thing. It's like we're playing Monopoly. She owns the whole state. You want to see? Let's find Minnesota. Let me make sure I get the abbreviations right. Minnesota is MN. Minnesota is up here, and Minnesota gets teased a lot based on their the way they have slang languages, right, Julie? You guys have a lot of different ways that you say certain things. We will put Minnesota on the map. There's a lot of knitters in Minnesota, just random conversation. And as we start putting the states down, we will go ahead and choose some fun colors. I'll just grab a bin and we'll start working on different colors. And as they go down, like if I put a blue down for California, I'll find a different bin for Nevada, Arizona, Utah type things. UK is, yeah, United Kingdom. Lots are very independent thinkers. You betcha. Yeah. I there's been when I was listening to the podcasts from the knitters and stuff, there like I said, there was a lot in Minnesota and they would always tease themselves because they'd start saying the slang and things like that. It's really kind of fun. Scottish want independence. I think I've heard that, especially recently, and even in the past, they're always like the Scottish people are very different. Please don't lump us in with everybody else. And I get that, I really do. Now we're jumping all over the place. Back up to where we were. Indiana. Indiana. It just takes a little bit of prep, and we're just sitting here talking about the world. Now, we don't want to talk politics, but we can talk about world geography and little bits of it. It's because you guys get really cold up there, right? I was listening to some video. I don't even know, like when I watch a video, it might not even be recent. I was watching a video and I'm like, wow, that sounds really exciting. And I looked at the video and it was 7 years old. I'm like, gee, I don't think they're having that festival right now anymore. I think eventually I'll put some water up for the Great Lakes just because they're a big prominent area up there to divide. Pretty sure we have an Alaskan person too that hangs out with us. Yeah, low 80s. That's nice. Yeah, it's been overcast here a few days here in the valley cuz when I was growing up in Connecticut and Florida, cuz I moved to Florida when I was 13, when you heard about the valley, it was always California cuz that's where the Valley Girls were back in the 80s and stuff. But now in Arizona, I think I'm somewhere like right about in this area. And we're in a valley because there's mountains everywhere, so the valley is not getting any rain. But it's been overcast, so when I went outside the last couple mornings, I'm like, "Ooh, it's really nice out. The weather's gorgeous." And I'm like, "Hey," I talk to my phone and I say, "What's the temperature?" And they're like, "It's 86." And it was 9 a.m. By 9 a.m., it's usually already into the 90s. And I'm like, "Oh, this is gorgeous weather." We did learn when we moved here, even into the 90s, Arizona is really beautiful temperature wise. 71? Oh my goodness. 88 in your bedroom. My bedroom right now, the AC is set at 76. So my bedroom usually runs 1 or 2 degrees cooler for most of the day. So it's like anywhere between 74 and 76 in my bedroom. No voice, as in you can't hear me? Oh, look, I'm frozen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, Robin. You can come back. You're frozen. Oh, I think it's just my video that's frozen. Oh, no. I wear a sweater in my room a lot because the other bedrooms are warmer than mine. So we keep it warm for them and not, hey, I'll just deal with whatever I have. I had to refresh my video. It froze. Can anyone else hear me? Or is it just Giovanna? Okay, sorry, Giovanna. It's you. Well, and me because I couldn't see myself. Well, Giovanna can read that. My apologies. She can't hear me, but I'm sorry. If everyone else can hear, that's usually something on your end, unfortunately. And I know how frustrating and aggravating that can be when you're the only one having an issue. Let me see what else I can find. We have Maine, so I can fit Maine in up here. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Because to be honest, other than starting a new live stream, I have no idea. I mean, I can disconnect the microphone if nobody can hear me and see if that changes it. Otherwise, because I know on the replay without the microphone, some people have a hard time hearing me. What time is it? Oh, it's 11:30 already. So this is Maine. Where's Maine over here? Minnesota. Nope, you're too big, Minnesota. Sorry. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's smallish. I think we can fit Pennsylvania in there. Then we can start putting some fabrics down onto the map, and I'll cut out more. And then you guys will just randomly see. Maybe I'll do I haven't done too many shorts. I'll figure out shorts. They keep changing how to do things. So I'll figure out how to do shorts. And as I add more people to the map, I'll do little shorts. Oh, y'all better? Good, good, good. Excellent. All right. I'm also tired of staring at the light box. So light box off. I love how it just slowly goes to sleep. I will unplug it and just move it out of the way so we don't do. Julie, I think it's going to end up, it'll be a wall hanging. I would love, if we had everything done, I would love to just mount it on a piece of canvas like you can do for painting and stuff. But as soon as I said that I knew it might not work, I could do embroidery through the canvas. It would be stuck to it forever. But I think the best option is just to leave it as a quilted wall hanging. And then as time goes by, I can add more states and just quilt through it. And I want to figure out something, either add tiny beads or embroidery knots to match the color of the fabric. So if 7 people in the future say, hey, we're in Kansas, I can add 7 little knots. That way we can see what state has the most people and, how many are there and stuff. 88 is just crazy. So let me move this again so I don't break it. Huh. That's interesting. I'll put it over here. Nope, because that's where we're going to go. I will put it up here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So move the chair out of the way. The ruler. I have the sewing machine down, but I don't think we're going to actually do any sewing today. I have scissors. I'm using the Kai scissors, and I'm going to cut right through paper and fabric because these are workhorses and they are amazing. I am going to use my ugly pressing board because if I get any type of fusible on anything, it won't matter. I have my little palm iron. This is a pure steam, not one of the ones that have been recalled, because I know some people worry and they like to let me know there's been a recall so that I can press the fabric and I can do this all I want, or you can use pressing mats and stuff. Now, let's do California. I want California to be blue. So I can just come in and bring in my blue bin. No, I haven't worked on my fabric bins. So it's still a bit, oh, this is a pretty blue for California. That would be nice blue too. So, oh, I probably should cut these out first, right? Yeah, that would make sense. Any of the little scraps I'll save and I'll use them for when I'm doing fabric postcards. Which I think that's just the only thing I want to work on right now is fabric postcards. I was so tired yesterday. I had dinner at like 4, and by 5 o'clock, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I closed up the shop. I turned off the big lights, and I just sat in my chair and I knit a little bit, and I think I fell asleep about 7, 8 o'clock in my chair. Like this, sometimes when your body is done, you're done. Because I either work or I create 7 days a week, or I'm cooking or cleaning or something. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to listen to my body today and take a little time off. You did them the other day. Well, Ian did them the other day. Ian did a map? I'm a little lost. I have I made an order for Missouri Star, so I'll have that to show you guys. That'll be coming in sometime this week. And I also received the package from Missouri Star for being an influencer. Oh, guys, there's some fun stuff. Oh, postcards, duh. I totally forgot that I just talked about that. Postcards are my favorite. I enjoy doing fabric postcards. I can do them all day. If I could only make one thing, I would say I'm going to only make art quilts. Or if I can just say quilts in general, great. But art quilts, so I can do fabric postcards. That would be an art quilt. And just little small wall hanging type quilts. I don't need, I mean, it's nice to have the big ones for warmth and stuff, but I'm not really drawn to, hey, I want to take 3 weeks and spend a lot of money and work on this forever. I'd rather do something little and small and get it done. So I'm going to put California here. So I have the sticky. If you guys haven't seen this before, I feel like if I can't see it, maybe you guys can't. So here is, can you see the back of it? Just like anything with fusible, there's all that fusible. And I drew on the paper, left that little bit of a border. Wheelie chairs are the best. You just wheel them around the room until they're out of your way. So I will put this here. Now, the directions will say certain things. So read the directions. Heat and Bond is not the only brand. A lot of times it says no steam, but sometimes I find steam works the best, and I'm not using steam. There's no water in this. 56 blocks for the diamond quilt. Woohoo! I think you've made more than I have. It's in my stack. I showed my patrons my new stack. You want to see my stack? I ask these questions as I'm going to show you things anyways. Hey, you want to see my stack? So my son found these at the Dollar Tree. I asked him to find some for me. So at least now when it's tall enough, you can see. These are all my current works in progress. And this one up here has a couple because I ran out of space. So I have my strings for my rectangles there. I have all these little bits left over from making, oh, these are the leftover ones for like the Christmas stuff. So I have my baskets in here, my fabric baskets, and those are fabrics for the community quilt, my Christmas stars. So each project gets a basket, and then whatever I need for it, I can put it in there, and I don't spend time wandering around going, what should I work on? Or where is that piece of fabric? It's right there. So I like doing that. Did I flip the, oh, no. Why would I do something crazy like that, Rose? Rose! Rose, where were you 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago? Oh, Rose. Look at that. Rose, you're so smart. I forgot. I flipped the pattern when I did something else, but no, I didn't flip the pattern. I didn't flip the pattern. No. Because if I were to cut this out, right here, I'll show you. When I cut this out, because Rose is right, totally forgot. I do this all the time, so it's not unusual for me to forget, especially when I'm talking. I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. So I traced it on here, and when I cut it out and I put it on the fabric, it'll be like that. So the reason for the light box was so we can see it this way. It's fancy. Okay, so who wants to talk about countries again, huh? Why don't you tell me what you're working on while I start all over again? All of this will now go into my scrappy fusible heat and bond stuff, and I'll use it for something else. It's not a loss because I have a roll. It's not a big deal. We were chatting as friends. We spent some good time together, and I went into it a little cocky thinking, oh, I've got everything ready for tomorrow's live. I had it set up yesterday, so it was already there on YouTube, so everyone could press the little button of remind me, and it would be all nice. Oh, that was the other thing I was testing to see if I did a video yesterday saying, hey, I'm going live tomorrow, if a whole bunch of trolls would show up. But I ironed it on the wrong side of the fabric, and when I cut it out, I just do a rough cut. If I cut California out, so what you do is you peel off the back of this, right? I'm pretty sure I have it wrong. So when you peel this off and then you would press it down like that, see how it's backwards on there? So it won't work. I have to trace it from this side of the canvas, because whenever you're working on it, this is, if you cut out a square, a heart, or a circle or something, you're fine. But anytime you're doing a shape like this or the alphabet, you have to flip it over and do it from the other side. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. We're okay. Have you seen the Leo Ransom quilts? He does portrait quilts. Just released a Louis Armstrong quilt video. Lion Den's quilting. Oh, no. No, you're fine, Julie. It's hard because when we have to start flipping things in our brain and wrapping it around our mind around the other way, it's like when you're doing paper piecing and you're sewing it on the back and the reverse and stuff. It really messes with your mind, and you have to triple think, did I get it right? No, wait, is it the other way? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll use those. The blue one, at least, I'll use it on a fabric postcard. I'm just going to put California. Welcome back, California. Let's try you again. Sticky side of the heat and bond, never had a problem doing that. Oh, interesting. That would be smart because I make this mistake a million times. I had a project that's coming out tomorrow for my patrons, and I had to do the word spooky. And I even reminded them to trace out the letters backwards from the back of the printout. And here I am, or to flip it when you're printing. I haven't figured out how to do that on my Mac yet. Can you repeat the land of? I will look it up on Amazon. Maybe. Maybe. I don't. Oh, it says TikTok. Tick tack tack took. Hold on. Tic tac. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon while we're. You know what? Hey, if we were to leave right now and got nothing accomplished, we had fun sitting down and chatting with everyone. Yeah, Rose is smart, right? Rose, where were you an hour ago, Rose? Rose is just Rose, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm being very teasing in a loving way. Rose just wanted to jump in at the last minute and rescue all of us, but she took a nap and forgot to let me know, hey, Robin, you gotta flip it. Because I have no problem, you guys, when you're very polite and you're not saying, oh, Robin's an idiot and she screwed up. Because, if you're like, haha, Robin made a mistake again, haha. Because Robin makes mistakes like that all the time. I can't see you guys. You could probably see what I'm doing. Amazon's interesting when you're searching for your orders. So Lightbox, because it's going to show me all kinds of kitty litter because I order a kitty litter that's a box and it's light. Here we go. It says Tic Tac 8. Oh, look, it's only $17.98 right now. It's listed at $40. There's no way I spent $40 on that. I will leave that up for the future, and I can put that right there. You were making chili. Ah, yeah. With the light box, I can see the lines, and I have California on there. Oh, and when you're doing this, don't use a heat erase pen because when you iron it down, all your lines will go away. Sometimes I forget, and I do that. All right, California. Oh, this is going to be fun. Can Robin see the states backwards? I'm not even going to use the ruler now. Oops, I smeared it. I do this thing where I kind of like just make little scratch marks with the pen, and it makes my lines come out straighter because my grandmother always teased me, Robin cannot draw a straight line with a ruler. And she's right, but when I took a drafting class, they taught me this. Arizona, California, Florida's over here. It's, yeah, what is Robin talking about now? I buy this kitty litter. It's a 42-pound box, but it only weighs like 14 pounds because it's super light and it doesn't make a lot of dust and stuff like that. And it's the strangest thing. For those of you that maybe, I don't know, I know the gum is still around now, Bazooka Joe bubble gum, but it was a really big deal back in like the 70s and early 80s. So when I put this fresh litter in, it puts out a scent in the room because it's a little bit scented. It doesn't bother me, but it took me a while to realize, why does my bedroom always smell like pink Bazooka bubble gum? It's because the kitty litter, when it's first put out of the box, it smells like Bazooka bubblegum. Sometimes when you refresh it, Giovanna, more show up. Hi, Sally. Sally, do you want to tell us where you live? I've seen Bazooka I know it's on Amazon, and I've seen it occasionally in different stores, and I've also seen it in like a Halloween bundle with a lot of other things, like maybe Dollar Tree or something like that. And it still has the little comics in it and things like that that you can collect, but I don't know if you can get anything from it. Okay, Illinois. Illinois. Oh, there's Iowa. We know we need an Iowa. IA. We used to stand up in front of the class and do like spelling bees, but also state capitals. And then if you didn't get the state capital right, you had to sit down. That was never fun. One teacher used to make us sit down and put our head down. Perfect. It works great. It's not huge, but I just move things around and it works out. I'm okay with it. I don't need anything too fancy, and if it's going to be on sale, why not? Iowa. Illinois. Oh, it seems like the canvas is stickier on the back. Maybe it's because I have bigger, excuse me, bigger sheet of paper. Illinois is IL. So, what is your state famous for? I know a lot of states have like a food. There's cactuses in Arizona. I haven't gotten as far as seeing what it is. Florida, of course, is always oranges. It's the strangest thing though in Florida. We never had Florida oranges in the Florida grocery stores. We always had California oranges because the years have been bad for so long that any bit of Florida produce gets shipped out to make money in other states versus here. Hi, Denise. You bought it and only used it once and you don't, yeah. I keep mine in a little cardboard box. I said there's a carry case for it. And usually Amazon will suggest what other people buy and what goes with it. Now the carry case is in my Amazon wish list. So if you want to get a carry case to protect yours, I think they work great. And for the price, I saw a lot of when I was doing the research, different artists that like to sketch and draw and stuff. Yeah, 10,000 lakes for Minnesota, the Grand Canyon. You're right, Jackie. I had food on my mind. What am I doing? Indiana. I saw a shadow and I thought my ink went all the way through it. I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. Indiana. So then we need Kentucky. Kentucky has a Kentucky Derby. And Kentucky is, I usually remember Kentucky because it's a weird shape. It has all the squigglies, so I'm going to guess that there's a lot of lakes up, rivers up there. I keep seeing stuff on Instagram. Instagram, I tell you, it's just teasing me about Arizona. It knows that I'm not going anywhere until it cools down, and it shows me lakes. And people from Summers in Alaska, it's a YouTube channel. Their family is in Arizona, and they got married, and the youngest son got married, and they were like in a city, and it was like 115, and then they went up into like this wooded mountain area, and it was 86 degrees. I'm like, nice. The English lakes. Shirley Kessinger is from Washington. Thank you, Sue. I had my head down. I was doing stuff. That's two Washington. I put, because I know Jody's in Seattle, Washington. She hasn't told us yet, but I went and put her down just because I know where she is. So that's two people in Kentucky. Now let's find Maine again. I have not been to most of these states. I'm going to count every state I drove through from Florida to here because that was an experience and a half. And if you spend that much time in what did we go through? We drove through New Mexico. I keep getting Nevada and New Mexico confused, and it's real easy because of the starting with an N and stuff. New Mexico and Texas. We went through Texas all the way down by the Gulf like this. And then when we went through New Mexico, and oh my God, it was forever. It's really pretty there, but I can see why people say there's nothing to see in New Mexico when you're driving the I-10 because there's nothing to see. It's all mountains. Really pretty. I'm doing Maine. Come back, Maine. I walked away in the middle. Now, I wonder if it's dark enough on here that maybe you can just put it in a copy machine and run a copy off. You'd have to run a couple because it probably wouldn't fit. I also thought you could take a Sharpie and traced over it if you needed to see the lines better or something. But then I worried I didn't want the lines to come through my fabric or anything like that. So Minnesota, and this just like to get a little bit more. You can always buy more than one map, but just to get a little bit more for your money. Lobster in Maine, yes. You know, sometimes we just need to make our money go a little further. And I don't want to take away from Missouri Star. If you need to have 4 maps, buy 4 maps. But sometimes I like to just make a copy, because what happens if I do this and 6 months from now I decide, oh, someone came up, maybe Sally will come back, or Sue or Jackie or Jody or someone will come in and say, hey, Robin, had you thought about doing the map this way? And I'd be like, no, that's a brilliant idea. And I'd go to buy another map, and then the map's not there. So by tracing it, I mean, once you own the map, as long as you're not selling what you're doing, you're usually allowed, you know, don't take legal advice from me, but you're usually allowed to do some things with it. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a squarish rectangle, not square. Rectangles and squares are different. I think every state has a body of water of some sort, right? I was really surprised to learn like Florida has hundreds, if not thousands, of lakes and stuff. Because we have Lake Okeechobee, or they have Lake Okeechobee, and it's really big, but there's also a bunch of little lakes in the different areas. All right, so now we can do Texas and Washington because I have a bigger piece. So Washington is all the way up here. See how much faster too? I find the first time I do something, I'm a little bit slower and a little bit more gentle. And then when I totally mess it up and I have to go back, I'm much quicker at it than I was the first time around. Do you guys have that thing? Does that happen with you too? It's like you know what you're doing then, so you move a lot faster. You don't worry about messing up. All right, Texas is a big boy. Come on, Texas. You know what? I'm going to put Texas all by itself. Some people think Texas is a country all on its own. Now, he, she, they have some long lines. I will bring the ruler in for Texas. That Texas song is really popular on Instagram right now. I see it, or I hear it in all kinds of videos that they're doing. Yeah, it's normal, right, Giovanna? Because you have that different comfort level. I think it's the same thing when you drive somewhere and it feels like it takes hours and hours, but when you drive home, it's super quick. It's because you're not really looking as much at the surroundings, so there's nothing new to see, and you're not like checking for constant exits and stuff. Where do I need to be? Because you've already done it, so it's like more of a comfort level. All right, that's good for now. So I'm glad some of you might get some of these. I think it works out really well. My daughter at one point also bought like a drawing tablet that you can draw on. Brand new, only used it once or twice, decided she didn't like it. So I have that too that I might bring out one day to just have a little fun with. Who wants to see my Patreon project before Whip It Wednesday? Because it's right here. It's right here in my Whip It Wednesday bin. There's a little sneak peek of it. I had so much fun working on this. Florida also has lots of springs. Juniper, Alexander Springs State Parks, yes. It's always quicker the way home. You want to see it all the way out? You guys are my peeps. You're the ones that hang out with me the most. So you don't mind seeing things twice, right? So there's my spooky quilt. The stitching on the spooky glows in the dark, and the quilting will glow in the dark. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn off the lights. It's going to get dark on here. Don't get scared, and it's not because something broke. I don't know. I haven't put it out in the sun to charge the thread up, so I don't know if it's going to glow. Nope, I don't think it's going to glow. A lot of times it's green, so you can see the green. All right, lights coming back on. So a lot of the times with the thread, you have to put it in actual sunlight to charge it. or if the sun's coming through your window. It depends on the brand of thread. This is a bro thread from Amazon that someone sent me that I'm trying out. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this out in the sun before I do my Whip It Wednesday video and see if I can get a little something so I can put it out in the sun today, take a video and put it on the Whip It Wednesday. So we'll see if I can get it to glow at all. Otherwise, it's just going to go into the Etsy shop and be a Halloween quilt. Because even if it doesn't glow, it's still a fun project. It's 100 2.5-inch squares, and none of the squares repeat. They're all from different fabric. I had so much fun working on that with my patrons. A UV light. Yeah, I don't have a black light. I bought the cats a little laser thing, and it has a black light on it, and they said it's good for finding critters on your cats, and they also say black lights are good for finding scorpions. I haven't bought a black light flashlight or anything yet here because, knock on wood, we haven't seen scorpions yet, although I still check my shoes every morning before I put them on, and then I take them off again. My daughter used to have a black light, but it's one of those things when you move across country, you really tend to, like, these little bits here are going to be great for Rhode Island, Maryland, Connecticut and stuff. But when you move across state like we did, you really, at least I cleared out a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not moving a bunch of stuff across the country. I still want to make California blue. I'm not sure yet. I think, Jackie, it's a really thin thread. It's 100% polyester. I don't use polyester, so I don't know. I'm going to need this. I don't know if this is normal for polyester, but the end of it comes like all shredded and all off and stuff. So I don't think I took all of them off my Amazon wish list. All the other colors that I put up there, I won't purchase it again. Even this was a gift, but I won't personally purchase it. I think it's, buy one and see how your machine likes it and stuff. But I think I would rather just go and buy the Coats and Clark glow in the dark thread. There's a lot of colors. That's the thing. There were so many colors that glow in the dark. I'm going to try it for embroidery accents versus sewing machine. I just want to leave a little bit so I don't have too much on the fabric, even though, I'm using scraps, sort of, but it's a big piece. I don't think I'm going to purchase it again. It's one of those things that, unless someone tells me how I'm doing it wrong, I don't think I will purchase it again. A scorpion spray, huh? I don't, unless we see a lot of scorpions, my scorpion spray is basically going to be my left shoe. I'm sure scorpions have a purpose in the world. I haven't looked. Fire ants have a purpose in the world, and I still don't like them because they make me have terrible reactions. Okay, just a gentle press to get it to set down. Follow the directions, do what you're supposed to, but I just I don't need it to adhere strongly right now to the fabric. I need it to adhere to my map. So then I'll just rough cut this out, and when I go to place it on my map, I will cut right on the line so it'll be perfect. So that's blue. And I don't want to use this blue again, but I'll leave it there. And let's do Texas. Texas is huge. Where's my map? Texas is down by the Gulf of Mexico. Texas has a lot of cowboys and different things like that. Plus, of course, they have the cities. It's not just cowboys. So I think maybe Texas, I want to have a green. Does anyone have opinion? All right. So I have some Coats and Clark thread that I purchased maybe 10 years ago. I'm looking at the brown. I think I'm going to use, don't laugh, I think I'm going to use brown for Arizona because everything here is brown. and it's a smaller state, or maybe for New Mexico or something, but something big like Texas. I want it to be something colorful. You can have even patchwork or something like that. My Juki and my brother machine here, so far they've taken any thread I've put in it, no problem. But I don't know, exactly if it's a me thing or if it's a machine thing or a thread thing. But I was constantly having issues with the end. It did break in my machine a couple times. I think I'm just going to use that green because that's what's there in the biggest piece. I don't know. It could, like I said, it could be a me thing. You always want to press your fabric first because if you have wrinkles, those wrinkles are going to stay. So this is what that fabric looks like. This is just a Joann's fabric. It's really nice. If I were to put this whole thing on, I could, and then I could use these bits as scraps for my fabric postcards, because those little bits to put them, they would end up in the trash anyway. So if I leave them with the fusible on, and it fits onto my fabric so I don't have to trim any off. So I think I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll just make some fabric postcards with the leftovers. So my iron's pretty hot, so it makes it curl. You could put a pressing cloth down if you're going to use a good iron or something. Or I like to have just a generic pressing board instead of using the wool mat. Yellow Rose of Texas. That's right. Well, it's too late. Ellen, this is your turn. I didn't look up in time, I'm sure. But Yellow Rose of Texas, I forgot about that. But that'll work good because it's not like green like the prairie and the green, the bright green grass that I'm seeing in everyone else's videos. My son was outside today going out to his car when I was out mailing an order in the mailbox. He's like, the ground is quite crunchy today. I'm like, yeah, we don't have the sprinklers on. We're not going to pay to water a section of yard that's only weeds. That's all that's in the front yard is weeds. And there's just no point in spending the money on the sprinklers when most of the water goes down into the end of the driveway and into the road. But the neighbors do the same thing. They have their sprinkler on, and it was making a stream on the side of the road. It was kind of cute because the pigeons and stuff that are in these yards, they were swimming and bathing and splashing around in that little stream of water because there's no water here. I can't remember all of my history and stuff, but isn't the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania? My daughter went and saw it recently, as in the past year. I think it's in Pennsylvania. That would be fun. I always loved the Liberty Bell and learning about that. Like, I feel like Florida should be orange for oranges. You can put, I guess after you're done, maybe you could applique blue fabric around it. You could dye this maybe, or you could cut the states out. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do if you really wanted to have more than just a map on a piece of canvas. I do really like the idea of embroidering on it. I lost Florida. Okay. It reads yellow green to me. It is. It's more of a yellow green. Let's see if we can get it to look accurate. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. A little bit lighter. It's a very yellow green, so I think that'll work good. So there's Texas and California. I'm gonna have all my colors off the shelves by the time we're done today. Another good reason to have, whoops, some's on the floor too. Another good reason to keep some of the smaller bits if you're going to do projects like this. I never know. And because I do fabric postcards and I do the scrappy note cards and stuff, I don't mind saving the fabrics, the little bits. I'm going to use this because this is my favorite. I don't mind having the little bits because I know I'm going to use them, but it should be a hurricane color. Reds, and green, reds, and what do they come across? Reds and yellows. Sometimes you see whites and blues. It all depends on what type of hurricane it is and where it's at and what weather channel you're watching and stuff. I still follow our local news, and of course, they only put the really scary stuff up on YouTube because I can't watch it on TV. I mean, I can watch it, I guess, on my computer or something, but the all I see is all the different car accidents. I'm like, I know that location. I know that. I'm getting pretty good here too because a lot of things I'll see something come across or they'll mention it on the channels on Instagram. There's a lot of Arizona, come visit Arizona channels, and I'm like, I know that location. We'll get something in the mail, and I'm like, I know. I feel so much better now. I knew it would just take a little bit of time because I'm like, hi, Frida. Oh no, I'm so sorry. We'll keep you company. I hope it's a quick one and you get over it quickly. It's never fun to be sick, and being sick in the summer is even worse. Washington, it rains a lot in Washington. We can have a green up there too. I I knew I'd get to a point where I would start to feel more comfortable here, and then I just knew it would take a minute, a little bit of time. Because here it is July. We moved here at the end of February, so we've been here for March, April, May, June. So 4.5 months is not long at all, especially for someone like me that I don't leave the house that often. Here you go. Yeah, I mean, I like I like my newscasters. Okay, so I'm going to cut some of this off so I can fit it sideways on there. They're like, because I used to watch them at in the morning, and then I'd watch a little bit at lunch, and I'd watch them at night. So while they're not like family, but they were a huge part of my day. See, now I can fit that there and take up less space. They were a huge part of my day. So, and then you follow them on Facebook, and they talk about family, and they get married and have kids and grandkids and stuff and retire. There's a lot of people that become realtors in Florida because that's a big market there. So it's just always nice to follow them and learn about their stuff. I think Kentucky Derby, I kind of want that to be brown. I have a lot of little bits, so I'll just bring over my little bits container. Like Minnesota, I think that needs to be like an icy blue. I think the states, don't they have their own color? They have the birds and the food and the flowers and all that. They probably have a color too. That might have been smart to look up, but we kind of do what we want here anyway. That there. I think I've sewn almost every color basket for the quilting part of it, and I just need to turn them into baskets. I'll have to see which ones I have left. Pretty sure I did brown. All right, what do we got next? Okay, Minnesota, we want that to be blue again. Move you over there. Let's see. Ooh, this one's fun. That might be fun. We have that one. That one has movement. That one's like lakes. I think this one. 2 days on meds now. Oh, that should help, right? Where am I going to put purple? Oh no, I'm going to put purple in 12 different states. I don't know. Purple's got to be in there somewhere. Peter Bush from the Tampa station was in Phoenix for a long time. I love Peter Bush. I actually follow him on Instagram. Nope. On YouTube. Nope. Hold on. I'll get there. On Facebook. Because he's down in the Lee County area doing all of that. He's one of my favorites. I think, pretty sure he's on NBC2. He's been traveling all over this country, mostly I think on the eastern states for the summer and stuff. He's got some beautiful daughters. Unless it's a different pewter bush. It could be the same. It could be different. We never know, do we? That's a common name. I watched the Wads on YouTube. She's from the Tampa area. I don't know a lot about the Tampa area. We mostly saw the city and the highway parts. I know there's a very historical area. Ooh, that's hot. It's a very historical town. There's a lot of older houses and stuff there. Florida doesn't have the same history that other states do because, they're not original. Giovanna, maybe we'll do Arizona for purple because why not? Why not? Purple, purple, purple. If you're from a state and I haven't already done it, you can always pipe up and let me know what color you think your state could be. As long as another state next to it's not been chosen, I mean, we're good, right? I don't think we haven't really doubled up much. I love this purple. Yeah, yeah. He has an amazing yard. His flowers, he's like, I don't know how they're still alive or whatever, but he has some gorgeous flowers and he always shares them and stuff. And then I look out my window. I bought all kinds of flower seeds that I know that I can grow in Florida and they grow here in Arizona. But without the rain, I just don't feel comfortable in a desert environment to water every day. It was Mexican till a few years ago. Oklahoma should be red. Do we have do we have anyone in Oklahoma? We don't have an Oklahoma. But are you from Oklahoma? Evelyn, are you from Oklahoma? Because I haven't made that yet. I can do an Oklahoma. I'll mark it down as red so that if I don't get to it, at least I'll know it should be red. Oklahoma should be red in color. I wrote it down in blue ink. That's kind of funny to me. You are. Okay, I'm going to mark you down then because we didn't have anyone from Oklahoma. All righty. So if I don't get to you today, I'll do it after the live stream. And I want to make sure I want to get these done and get them on the map. And then I will, when I'm all done and I have them on the map, I'll take a picture and that'll be the screenshot for this video. All right. I got to start piling these on the bed. I always have such a mess to clean up. Okay. IA is Iowa. Sue, you're in Iowa. What color would you like Iowa to be? We haven't done anyone yet by it, right? Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Pennsylvania, and Maine. Sorry, Jody, you got a green. You weren't here that I saw, and I just knew you were in Washington. There you are. There's Jody. Hi. Iowa gets yellow for corn. I've got that. I still have the quilt hanging up there, so I have to go underneath the quilt. See how many things can fall during the live stream. I don't have any food fabrics in here. Purple for Arizona is good? Oh, nice. Perfect. Tucson, I saw they had some crazy weather come through because we've been waiting to see what a haboob and a monsoon and everything look like. And we haven't seen anything yet. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know what these things look like. Are people being dramatic or are they similar to the storms in Florida? I don't know. I want to see. Ooh. You think maybe we could put a ladybug? Should we put a ladybug in Iowa? Wild rose, corn is yellow. How about if we do the yellow background with a red ladybug? That would be fun, right? Oh, it's Ren Fair. Ladybug. Ladybug. Gotta love a ladybug. So I didn't want to use any solid fabrics. I was going to pull out just a charm pack and use it, but it's all solids. I'm like, that won't be fun. We need to have fun stuff. Because ladybugs are good luck. Let's see. This one's open and they have glitter on them too. So we have a little one. So it depends on how much yellow we want. Oh, that's got flowers in it. They're so pretty. I think we should go with a little one. I wonder if it matters if their wings are open. Oh, let's make sure if Iowa is like this, right? Let's make sure the ladybug. There we go. Should have some fun stuff. I keep my food fabrics separate. Ladybugs eat insects. Yes, that's why I was very happy when I had ladybugs that came into my yard. Now, there are things called a ladybug infestation, and it's not good. But when ladybugs came into my yard, I knew they would eat the aphids and stuff like that off of the hibiscus, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. My daughter keeps telling me she wants me to get new hibiscus and stuff. I'm like, but not here where there's no rain. I don't need another thing to keep alive, just something small. I'd like to get some small plants for inside my room. Dragonflies eat mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, I haven't, again, knock on wood, we haven't had a mosquito issue here. Mosquitoes in Florida are pretty bad. But if you don't have water, if you don't have standing water, it's kind of hard to have mosquitoes because they like the standing water. Pennsylvania. I'm going to start cutting these out and getting them on the map before I do Maine, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Indiana, just so we can see where the colors are sitting. So now, after you have it fused down and it's cooled, you cut it out right on the lines. I like to save the cutout pieces that have the fusible on it simply because I can cut bits off of it, or I can take the whole piece and put it onto like a fabric postcard or a mug rug. So if I cut out a heart, I try to be really careful so that I can put it back together and it'll have like a reverse heart. And it's fun to use that way too. Otherwise, toss it. Succulents. Succulents is a possibility. I'm thinking I want to put a spider plant in my room because I can hang it over like my shower area because it doesn't steam up in there, so I don't have to worry about that. But there's enough room for it to hang down a bit and not worry about the cats, because it's good to have green things in the house, some plants to help keep the air clean. I did get an air purifier, a Shark from Amazon Prime that was just going on, so I got a really good deal on that. The DNR treats the ponds. Mosquitoes can be really bad in Minnesota. They actually treat, yeah. In Florida, they drove by and they treated the little culverts on the side of the road where the water gathers during a massive rainstorm so it doesn't flood. So they would treat that area, and then anywhere that was really bad, they would just fly over. As long as it was a populated area, they let the mosquitoes alone if they were in a wooded area. But there's not that many of them left where I lived. Everything's getting built up so much there. I don't think I would go back to that area unless, if I won the lottery, that's probably not the choice of a place I'd want to live, but that would be the only way to go back because it's so expensive there now. Oh, that turned out really cute. Ladybug can be in Arizona with me. Otherwise, I mean, I would like to live in Florida still, but, ask me a year from now and I may have fully acclimated to the area and I may say, hey, I want to stay over here. I have a red car. There aren't very many red cars here, so that's always a strong point. I thought it was really strange that a lot of people had darker cars with as hot as it is. I know we just came at the wrong time of the year. It's just the way it worked out and the way it had to be. So once the cooler months hit, it's going to be a lot nicer. Oh, it carried you away, huh? Mosquitoes are bad, and then you just have those bug bites for a long time afterwards that itch. And you hear about all the folk remedies and see them online. What should you do? I'm just doing the best I can with all the wiggles. And if something overlaps, or if there's a space in between, I'll just get a Sharpie marker or something, or add some embroidery around the states to cover up any bloops. It'll all work out in the end at some way or another. Yeah, I was thinking spider plant. I want to get an African violet just because I had one in the past and I kept it alive and I really thought they were really pretty. I have a couple of empty pots that are self-watering. So you just put water in the pot and the plant takes what it needs. It's got a reservoir let me show you. My money tree didn't do very good outside, so I had to bring it inside. There's a plant thing online. It's called Easy Plant. This is my money tree. I took off all the dead leaves. It's starting to come back, but it has this reservoir in here that you fill up with water, and it's got a wick that goes down in there, and it sucks the water up into here, so it doesn't have that little base underneath that spills water anywhere. It waters itself. I just make sure that stays filled, and it takes whatever water it wants because I either overwater or underwater all of my plants. So these are really great. They said at some point they were going to start selling the empty pots, but I have 2 pots about that size, so I thought I would get something that might be a little bit more delicate, that needs special care, that can take care of itself though in those pots. And then I just get a spider plant. I'd like to get a Christmas cactus too. I thought I was bringing my Christmas cactus to my kids' house, but either it got left behind, it was taken off the porch, or we lost it somehow. I don't know, but I brought my Christmas cactus. It came half dead. I brought it back to life, and then I don't know where it is now. You can get malaria from mosquitoes. Yep, yep. You can get a lot of things from mosquitoes. Florida would spray the residential areas for mosquitoes at night. They spray here if it's a bad mosquito season. Hi, Evelyn. I am in Surprise, Arizona. I'm about an hour's drive, 26 miles west of Phoenix, maybe northwest. I moved here with my adult children, my 3 adult children. We're all renting a house together from Cape Coral, Florida, and that was between Tampa and Naples on the Gulf Coast. All my kids were born there. I moved there when I was 13. But now we are in Arizona and Kentucky. You are an annoying state. Look at all the wiggle squiggles you have. Sorry, Kentucky people. In Kenya, we had a lot of malaria. You can get dengue as well. I think there's other things here you can get because mosquitoes are going from person to person and taking one person's blood and then jumping onto your body. And they say, yes, it happens. No, it doesn't happen. But it's kind of concerning when you splat a mosquito and there's blood everywhere. You really don't know anything about it. Like they say, a lot of blood-borne disease and stuff you have to be careful from. So it's like, I'm not sure. I don't want to be a worrywart, but I also don't want to live my life like la 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 la. I want to make sure I'm taking certain precautions. Besides, even if nothing gets transmitted from mosquitoes, you just don't want to be bit by a mosquito. It is not fun. You were born in Douglas, Arizona. Douglas is the Air Force Base, so I think it's like not far from here. Or is Douglas, Texas an Air Force Base? I know there's an Air Force Base really close, like next to us or something, because the jets go by in my videos all the time. They've been low. They've been flying very low this week, and they've also been doing night flights. So sometimes either they wake me up at night or I happen to wake up and I hear them going by. It doesn't bother us. It's not a big deal. Barking dogs are worse than jets going over, but it's been kind of fun. Sometimes we go outside when they're really low just to see them fly over. From Las Vegas. Gotcha. Yeah, only some can, but it's like, whatever. I'm just going to be careful. I'm not going to do certain things. I like lavender. So far, lavender hasn't bothered me, but I don't have any like large amounts. A lot of things have lavender in them. I have a lavender spray for cleaning the counters from the Dollar Tree. I really love that. Plus, it's in a purple bottle. You know, the liquid itself is purple, so it's fun. Okay, now we have all of our states done. The Mexican border south of Tucson. Okay. So I don't know what's by us, but there's an Air Force base because I know my daughter was talking about how they're going to, go and talk to the people on the Air Force base and have them with the Mission Barbecue, and they do all this stuff and everything. They call it recon, where they go out into the neighborhoods and talk to people and businesses and stuff like that. I went to Texas because it's the biggest. Allergies. You're very lucky because allergies are annoying. And do we have a Nevada on here? As I'm just chit chatting, saying hi. No, I don't have a Nevada. I put you on there. Thank you. And if I didn't say hi to you, hello, Brenda. I'm not sure I saw you pop in because sometimes I put my head down and I forget to look up. Now, I'm going to just pick at it a little bit on the side, but you can also take a pin and scratch it. And that makes it easy. You know what I'm going to use instead of a pin because I know me and I'm going to lose a pin and stab myself. You don't want to cut through the fabric, but if you just scratch the paper a little bit with a seam ripper, you can bend it and pull it off. I was being awfully cautious. There we go. Keep trash can near you when you're working on projects like this because there's always litter around. There we are. So then you just take it, and if you did everything right and line it up in between. So anyone who's just come in recently, this is a Missouri Star Quilt Company map. They sent it to me to play with you guys. They're doing like this summer travel thing where you embroider wherever you went or you put the fabric down. I'm doing what states all of our community here lives in. And yeah, so I'm just going to do the best I can, and then I'll do some type of hand embroidery or machine stitching around. I'll come back and I'll make sure that the description box has the links for everyone. I'll put the light box in the description box. So for those of you watching the replay and you can't see the chat anymore because I put it up there earlier, then I'll just give it a nice little press to hold it in place. This is only a temporary because I'm using the purple heat and bond, so it's light. It can easily be removed. Sometimes if I make a mess, I try to peel it up. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Yeah, we're all flipped. Did them from the front side first, mistake. Traced them from the reverse side. You can go back and watch earlier. If you don't want to see it all, just maybe skip forward about an hour and see where I messed up. The royal we. It's not good to pick at the edges too much with your fingernail because you can fray the fabric, but a little bit isn't too bad. I don't normally do it, so I don't know why I am, but I am. That's Popeye. I am what I am. That's all that I am. And then I'm keeping track of how many people let me know from what state they're from, and then I'll do something. I'm thinking just taking maybe one strand or two strands of embroidery floss and adding the French knots. Hey, guess what I did? I used the I used a friction pen to write the initials because I have heat erased all of the ones that I put down there. That's okay. We're good. We know where the states are. Actually, I have the other bit of it that I traced anyhow. But I thought about beads, but I have to have very small beads, and I do have very small beads, but I'd have to use like clear beads or green beads and orange beads, but if I use the embroidery floss, then I can match the colors and it would blend in and then it wouldn't stand out because I want Texas to still be green. You know, I don't want it to be covered up with like black beads or anything. So Arizona goes like this. And you can tell I didn't get all the wiggles on the side right. It's okay. I'll figure out an adjustment. And I'll try. Now, I did before I had to iron this map when I got it because it was all folded up. So before I did, what I did is I came down to Missouri Star and I hit it with the iron because it's printed the same way. So if Missouri Star disappears, it wouldn't be a crisis. And then I also tested out just the little islands over here on Alaska to make sure this wasn't a disappearing ink situation, you know? We don't want that to happen because I didn't want to erase the entire map. That would have been a little scary. We'll just keep adding these on. And like I said, I'll do it after the live stream. We'll probably go until about 1 o'clock, and I'll do it after the live stream. My apologies again for anyone because YouTube wouldn't let me turn the video the other way. I had to go in the Instagram version. So if you're watching on the replay, you have that little black screen. So California doesn't meet up perfectly with Arizona. I have learned that not everyone in California and Arizona get along very well. So kind of glad I have Florida plates and not California plates. I have to wait for, I can't do anything with my car until I don't have the proper birth certificate to do anything in Arizona. I have a little birth certificate from back in the 80s when I graduated high school. It's got the embossed stamp on it and everything, but Arizona requires you to have the full long sheet with both parents' names on it before they'll let you do anything with driver's licenses and stuff. And I did that back in April, and I still haven't gotten my birth certificate yet because it could take 16 to 24 weeks or something like that. So I'm still waiting on that to show up. Washington's over there. Iowa's here. And then the Minnesota and the Kentucky. Okay, let's do Washington over here. So if I erase anything, it wouldn't matter. Egtrilla? I'm sorry if I say that wrong. I have never seen a name like yours before. It looks very pretty. You're from Oregon, or Oregon. I know everyone says their states a little bit differently because we all have an accent. I know that throws some of the people from other countries because there's 50 states and then you add in the all the little extra provinces and stuff like or whatever they're calling like Jamaica and stuff like that. We have all that extra bit, and that's not on here at all. So if we have anyone from down in that general area, I can add that on too. There's a little bit of Washington. You're a singer. I said Oklahoma. We all know there's a song for that. I did not sing Oklahoma, though I will probably sing it 12 times afterwards. Here in Italy, the birth certificate is valid for only 6 months, so you have to ask for it when needed. Interesting. I wonder why, because it doesn't change. Maybe people tend to lose them or something, because you do have to hold on to them for a long time here. It gets a little confusing here too. Like when my kids were born 20, 30 years ago, you would get a record of birth from the hospital stating that your child was born that you would then have to take to get a birth certificate. So if you didn't get a birth certificate, that record of birth, all right, sorry everyone, you're gone. I'm wiping you out. I just now remembered that I used the heat erase pen, the Friction pens, because I didn't want that to show through the states. That's okay. Whoa. Ooh, that's hot. stretched a little bit because I moved the iron instead of straight up and down. So we'll do Iowa and Minnesota together. Will the map have raw edge seams? The map right now it's serged and it has a line of stitching straight around. It's not folded at all. There's no hem to it. So when I'm done, it will turn into an actual quilt. And instead of doing binding, I will do the facing on the back. So it's when you take a binding type material and you pull it to the back. I have videos on facing. So that way we just see the map and then that's it. And then, like I said, I don't mind hand stitching through, or if I have to add beads, I can add embroidery stitches through the batting without going all the way through the back. Plus, it's going to be mine and it's going to be on the back, so it won't matter. This is a canvas material, so I don't know how much it'll actually fray on its own. It looks like it's a really good quality material, but I wouldn't know. I think you could do like a dowel rod. I'm okay with that color, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, it has some gold flecks going through it, which is fun. Sometimes I love that fabric, sometimes I don't. That's what's fun too with scraps. You can take them out and put them back in your bin and take them back out. Okay, I am going to, I'll put that there. I'll do Minnesota first. It's gotten a little hot. Oh, the ladybug is perfect. Iowa is so spoiled. You guys are going to stand out. Look at that. I'm loving the way this is turning out with all the different scrappy colors. Now, Missouri Star did it. Misty from Missouri Star did an interview with Little Green something or another. You'd have to ask. I'd have to find it for you if you can't find it on there. But she sells a map pattern for a quilt if you don't want to do it this way and you want to have an actual map pattern. She's also working on kits where the states are going to come pre-cut out on fusible, so they're going to be like laser cut out, so they'll be perfect and everyone will fit together and you won't have to find any of the struggles, to the little bits left over like I have and stuff like that. So you can do that. Does that light box stand much heat from the iron? I'm not using that. It's not the Caterpillar kind. This is just, the light box is just a light box. You can't iron on it. This is an artistic light box. You can't cut on it. You can't iron on it. Like I said, this is not the Caterpillar one that everyone's talking about on Instagram. This is just a light box for you to trace your embroidery, your applique, your paper piecing and stuff. If you want to really be in depth, you have to get that Caterpillar one. And I don't know what the price is, but I remember looking at it going, no, I'm good. I'm happy with mine. Because that one, I think you can press and cut and do all kinds of stuff. This one is just a light box for tracing things, so you don't have to put it up against the window. Drink break. Show off my wonky RsIslandCrafts mug again. Thank you so much. Hmm. Yeah, I have this is the wooden TV dinner tray top that I have batting and a couple layers of fabric on it. I use this for applique and fusible stuff, the heat and bond, because sometimes I forget and I put the fusible interfacing glue side down and I glue it to this and I have to pull it up and stuff. So I like to use this one for dirty stuff on my little iron because the iron is also small. If you think about taking one of those big giant full size irons and trying to put like a little Maryland on the map or something, that'd be very hard. And I definitely don't want to put any type of a pressing mat right on my cutting board. This one's super thick. I have the wooden TV. I think I have tin foil, 2 or 3 layers of really thin cotton batting. And I think I'm on my second or third layer of this bird fabric. I just keep recovering it instead of taking it off and putting new stuff on. All right, so let's do our last few states, and then we will adjourn for the day. I wanted to see, you're welcome. Always ask a question, because that would be really scary if you bought that light box thinking you could iron on it or something, and then, you know, you would kind of melt it. That would be sad. They're a really good price right now though still. So again, come back afterwards. As soon as I'm done here, I'll turn the live stream off and I'll sit right down at the computer and do all the stuff. Hey, so is anyone getting the advertisements 30 minutes after you came in and stuff? Excuse me. There we go. So has it been horrible? Has the hearts been horrible? Should I turn those little hearts back off? Because if nobody hits the hearts, for me, I can see, so there's no problem. You haven't gotten any ads yet? Nice. They say, you know, like people like to click the hearts and it makes them happy and stuff, and it shows interaction. But I think if you're just leaving comments, doesn't that show interaction? So let me know either way. I don't mind. We don't have any red. We need a red. Red, red, red. Everything's underneath the quilt, so I can't see. Oh, there's red. Come on, red. Sometimes I'll try to figure out something nice for the state, and other times I will just do something fun. So I think we'll put red next to the ladybug to draw her red wings out. So that would be Illinois. You got it when you entered? Yeah, when you entered, that's normal to get one. That's interesting. Maybe I did not turn it on for, oh, you betcha I didn't turn the ads on when I had to do the live stream the third time over. That's a possibility. I like to just touch the fabric, and like if I'm making something for someone and as I'm like flipping through the fabric postcards or something, I'll be like, oh, that is the fabric I want. You know, that's the postcard for them. I feel like it just, either my brain's like, hey, that looks good. Oh, we got hearts. We can put hearts on. Pinky red hearts. That might be fun. And then it's like, oh, that feels good. We'll choose that one. That one makes me feel happy. Maybe this person. And then sometimes when I send out the note cards or the postcards, someone will tell me, oh, you know, yellow's my favorite color. Thank you for sending me a yellow one. When I was just like, oh, here's a yellow. That sounds like a good idea. Let me do that one. So I try to let the person talk to me. I am sick and not able to sew myself right now, so thank you for letting me enjoy time with your quilting space. Anytime, Evelyn. I'm so happy that you joined us. I'm really sorry you're not feeling well. I know how miserable it is to be miserable, and you don't want anyone else to be sick, yet at the same time, you really don't want anyone else to be happy either. I know not everyone thinks that way, but it's like when I'm sick and miserable, I want the whole world to just stop and wait for me to feel better and catch back up. So then we can all go out and be happy again together. No ads, but I also have YouTube Premium. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I turned ads on for this new live stream. We'll try it again next month. This is the last live stream that's scheduled for July. And then we'll see what happens. I never really put another one on, but you never know. I still have the cross stitch project to work on with everybody. Illinois. And then Indiana. So our Indiana peeps, do we have them in the house? Do we know what color Indiana? How about an aqua type type? Whoops. Flamingo down. Flamingo down. I don't even mind putting black in this for one of the smaller states, as long as it has like some texture. Sometimes I think about it, Giovanna, and then I'm like, oh, wait, there's a live in 2 days. I don't know if I should do a live. You know, what's the point of doing a live now? And then other times I'm like, you should just do a live whenever. My bed is very rainbow colors right now. It's looking nice. These bins do work really well. I don't know after doing the whole process. I think what I'm going to end up doing is keeping the large pieces of fabric still in the bins and use the quilted fabric baskets that I'm making for those little bits. All of like these little bits and little bits like this and stuff that I save. And I think I'll do that because I like the big sturdiness of pulling out a basket, but I also like the little bits. Take out the extra so I don't on purpose glue it to my pressing mat here. You just need to be able to cut on that line. You don't need too much past it. Quick on one side and a little bit on the other. I go live on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Arizona time. Arizona does not do daylight savings, so you might need to check. I'm trying to remember to put the live stream up on the Friday before now, as long as we don't get a bunch of creepers coming in. And otherwise, I have a Whip It Wednesday video on Wednesdays where I show you what I've been working on during the week. And I'm a little bit off schedule in the summer, but I normally have a tutorial on every Friday. So Maine is lobsters. Where's my last red? Over there, over there. Maine is small. It can be lobsters and it can be... It's funny because I do know I have lobster fabric. I just don't have it right here. I'm going to put that up there for Maine. Orange? But Maine is lobsters. Lobsters are red. We had a lot of crabs in Florida. I ate a lot of garlic crabs growing up. They were really good. You have to work to get your meal when you're eating crabs. Like they would put newspaper on the table. You'd eat like on a wooden table like this. It'd be covered in newspaper, and they'd give you wooden mallets, and you had layers and layers and layers, and then you have the little cruncher thing to get the stuff out of the claws, and you beat things with the mallets. It was really fun. It was a very interactive meal. Lobsters are orange? I don't know. I think they're blue too, aren't they? They have blue on them, or blue lobsters. I think everything has an albino. I know crabs have blue. And they have blue claws. Pennsylvania. Green's all the way over there, so maybe we need another green. Let me look on my shelves and see. We've done brown. Oh, pink. We have pink. I also made an extra purchase when I bought the air purifier. I bought a walking treadmill. It's still sitting. I hope you never get sick so that we're all together. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. If you were here when I first moved to Arizona, we all got sick. We were all allergic to, like, there was dogs in this house before, and there was some type of weird smell. We all got sick from the trip, from that, and also from just like the different allergies and stuff. We were all sick for quite a while. But I bought a walking treadmill because when I edit videos, I either sit here in my chair and fall asleep, or I pace. I like to pace when I'm doing videos, so I thought getting the walking treadmill, since I can't really go outside. A green... Giovanna, are you just telling me stories now? Are you just rattling off colors? Now, you know I'm going to have to go afterwards and look at all the different colors of lobsters. I believe you because I have no reason not to, but I don't know about the green one now. That seems a little bit much. But I can't really walk easily between the asthma and the heat, and you really need to get out and walk early, or it's just too easy to get heat exhaustion and dehydrated. And I'm like, I don't want to walk because I want to work on a video, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. So everyone's been talking about doing walking treadmills and crocheting, and they do them in offices and stuff. So I got one. It came in yesterday, later at night when I was like not in the mood to do anything. So the box was in the way trying to get the pink out before it's cooked. I kind of figured it was before it was cooked because then they all kind of turn red like shrimp. So I thought while I'm editing videos and just anytime I can just get on it, I don't have to worry about getting dressed or brushing my teeth or showering or anything like that before and after. I can just set it up, and it's supposed to only be like 24 pounds, so you're supposed to be able to move it with the wheels around and stuff. So hopefully that'll work, and I have a feeling my kids will enjoy it too. I know Justin goes out and walks a lot. He says there's been a couple people they've had to call ambulances for because he does Pokemon, and part of his walking routine for his health and his weight. Oh, that's cute. So he does that. So he goes out and does Pokemon and stuff. So it gives him something to do while he's walking. But I can see when he comes home, he's kind of like ashen and stuff, or he's just you can see he's just hot. I'm like, it's brutal out there. That sun really just burns. The heat is one thing, but the sun just burns you. There's that. That's a little close, but not too bad. You used to do Pokemon? My husband and I did Pokemon for a bit, but then we just wanted to be casual and they wanted too much from us. We're like, we cannot put in that type of time commitment. Oh, wait, we've got to do it with other people? No, thank you. We just wanted to spin Pokestops and collect Pokemon, but they're always like, do this thing and go to this gym and do that. And you can't progress past this if you don't do that. And it just took all the fun out of it. Oh, one more. And that finishes us off for today. If anyone has any questions, I have no idea what we're going to be doing on the next live stream. I have those appliques, the pre-cut, pre-fused appliques. I have some that was shared with me, and the one that I got recently from Missouri Star. We should work on those, and there'll be new Missouri Star projects coming. Oh, Missouri Star, let's get back to that. Oh, emails coming across. A flash live? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Missouri Star. There's supposed to be some new things in my package that's coming, and that's going to be a giveaway that I'll be able to do. So that's going to be exciting. Have you seen all the? You could kind of tell what's coming out with the Missouri Star influencers and partners based on the videos. Like they showed this video, and then a bunch of us received it in our kit. Have you seen the recent one? I think it was the 3 one where they were doing the templates for the holiday stuff. Oh yeah. With playing cards, I might. Yeah, you're right because with or dice would be fun too for Nevada. Well, then I got to play catch up. Yeah, Pokemon's hard, Jody. You have to have 2 hands, and plus you need to be able to get out and about and do things. You can't just do it from home. And I understand that there's other games for people. Like you can play other Pokemon games and not leave your house because they have the video games and stuff. But it was really exciting, and everyone wanted to do it. OU colors are crimson and cream, so you might find a print whose colors look good and close to Illinois red. I I put sideways hearts. I didn't pay attention, so I have red. Did I? No, I did peel that one off. I'm like, did I even peel? Sometimes I sit here and wonder why they don't fuse because I forget to peel the paper off the back. I want to have, if I can, I want to get something special for the States, but I also want to have a good variety of colors because if it's going to be hanging up, in my room, it's always all bright and colorful. So I kind of want it to match a little bit. But we're getting the template sets, a lot of us, so you guys will have more than one opportunity. I don't think it's a big secret. If it is, my apology, Missouri Star. I spilled the juice. But some people, they asked us, would you be willing to do a giveaway for a template set? And I'm like, yeah. So they have some fun templates. So we'll be working on that next month also. There's Christmas ones and stuff. So there was a cardinal or a bird, the snowflake, which I love, the sweater, the tree. I was eyeing them. I almost bought a couple of them myself, but they were kind enough to send a set for me to play with and a set to give away to you guys. So that'll be fun. A gambling fabric. No, I'm just gonna wing it, Jody. I might have some. I used to have some red scraps with dice on it. So, like I said, these are not permanently adhered. Some of them aren't even adhered all the way down, but it's enough for now. And then I'll go through and I'll do some stitching around it. I might just, for now, take my palest yellow green and just follow an outline stitch just to make sure it doesn't fall off. Take an orange on here. And then I'll worry about all the little, I'll give you guys a close up of how some of them I can see the borders coming through or sticking out, and Texas has got a lump for some reason. Texas has a lump I have to figure out. But you see how they're not totally covered? Now, this one I can't fix because I'm not going to put another state on it, but like Florida has some outline sticking out and around it. So while I think it would have been nice to have it disappear, at the same time, that would make it a lot harder to work on, especially when you're pressing the fabrics on it. But I can easily do something to cover that up. And even just taking a black Sharpie and drawing around it and outlining the states would make it, you know, cover it up and make then every state would stand out if they had a black outline around it. Anyone can make a map. No, not the map, Giovanna. Everyone had the map. Just I don't want to spill. If I spilled the beans about the templates that they're sending out to give away, maybe that's just not pressed down. Yep. Ow, it's hot. These irons get very hot and they don't turn off. So it's one of those things you have to make sure if you're going back and forth, put them on a surge protector. So at the end of the day, always get in the habit of turning off the surge protector. Otherwise, it's really easy to leave them on. I have a huge fear of being stabbed and being in a house fire, so I try to remember to always turn things off. But that's the way it looks. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, I like the idea. I might do I just want to put the stitching down to hold it for now. And then afterwards, I can do hand embroidery around it. I can take a very small zigzag stitch and stitch around all of them to hold them down extra and to cover up the borders. It's going to be one of those things that's a work in progress that until we have someone that lives in every state and lets us know, I can't finish the map. The map may never, ever get finished if no one says, hey, I live in Louisiana. You tried to make the US map from memory? Yeah, that's fun. That's why I started putting all the initials on, but then I realized I did it with the friction pen, which is fine, but I need to find some more fun fabrics. Otherwise, Iowa is going to be the only one that has got something cute on it. Now, once these other states are all filled in, it'll blend in. And then I can decide what I want to do with the rest. But just by heating this up, the canvas here, once you get it hot in different areas, it's got a little ripply. But just like they say with a lot of things, hey, I can quilt that out. So that's a little bit of a consideration. You can always use a glue stick I don't know about which one is this? Indiana, Illinois with the sideways heart. That's kind of an oopsie that I didn't pay attention to. But once you have more on, it'll blend in. If I start putting French knots in it, it'll cover it up. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Anyone who's on the replay, make sure you put your state in the chat. Even if I already have your state, I'm trying to keep track of however many people are in each state. Right now, we have 3 in Iowa, and that's the leader. Everyone else has 1 or 2. So you see, we already have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, unless I miscounted. So we already have 12 out of 50. I think we're doing pretty good. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. Hi, Teresa. Lee Allen's just popping in. You'll have to let us know, anyone who's just popping in or who's watching the replay. Remember to put it down in the comments on the non-live version and let us know what state you're from. Come on back on Wednesday, at least for the Whip It Wednesday. And once those Missouri Star boxes start rolling in, one that I ordered and one from them, then I will go ahead and show you guys what's in them. Bye. I've got Oregon. Oh, I didn't make yes, I have you down for Oregon. I just didn't make the outline. I didn't forget you. I just didn't actually do you. All right, Giovanna, thank you. Appreciate it. Hi, Sunny in Indiana. Okay, guys.